So I am back at the HI Chicago Hostel. It's the Hosteling International Chicago Hostel. This is the same hostel that I stayed in last year when I did my Portland to Chicago trip. I decided to stay here again because of the location. It's just a good location. Now, last year I was, talking about how the L train is right here and it's kind of loud. Well, check this out. I get here to this room and you can't get more right by the L train than the entire track. So that's kind of bit me in the butt. I guess karma, huh? Yes, so this time instead of having a mixed dorm, I decided to do the all-female dorm. There are four beds in here. I'm gonna kind of go this way so you can see the layout behind me, 2 and 2. As of right now, there is one person up there that I have yet to meet. The person down here on the bottom, they just came in at the same time I did. We both came in on the train. She's only staying for one night, and then I am on the top bunk, and right now there's no one on the bottom, but I'm sure that will be filled very quickly. Pretty much the same layout as last time. I'm gonna swing the camera around. Again, you have the mirror, iron and ironing board. You do have the big lockers, which I have my small backpack in. And you do have the bench there, which I have attached my stuff, my bigger bag to the bench. Someone just left their stuff in the corner over there. For the most part, it should be safe. It should be. But I don't like leaving my stuff out. I never know. To me, it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to come back and all my clothes be stolen. That and my bag was kind of expensive and I don't want to give that up either. While I was talking, got out my card for the room, just a blank card to get in. I'm going to show you guys the common area because it is slightly different from the one last year. So I'm going to turn the camera around here. Again, you come through the front door and you have the 2 rooms. You have my room. I don't know why I got my card if I left the door open. Good grief. And then you have the second set of 4 beds. You do have a little chair there, table to eat or study or work, and a chair there. Now if you come this way, you do have the kitchen area. Again, you cannot cook in here. They do have a microwave. I don't think that dishwasher is going to work. Obviously the stove is not going to work, but you do have a fridge here and a freezer so that it's not in the big common area. This room is on the 5th floor. I can't remember which floor I was on last time, but I think it was pretty high up as well. This is the bathroom area. It's slightly different because the bathroom over there, you had to pass by this area to get to the bedrooms. Here, it's its own separate thing. Yes, when people come in, like if I come in the front door, if you're at that left sink, I can see you. But if you are at the right sink, I cannot. Do have your towel hooks there. You have your dryer, paper towels, and then in here is the shower. Oh, this is glorious. This is glorious. So the bathroom in the one last year, It was obviously the toilet and the shower, but the toilet was slightly closer. The shelf was way over here, so you couldn't reach out to get your towel or get your toiletry items should you need them. And because it was so close together and not this giant spacious room, the floor was flooded, constantly flooded, and it was gross. So if I had stayed here last year in this room setup, I would have been much happier having this bathroom get up. In the shower, there is no place to put your stuff, your toiletry items, unless you hang it, which I did bring my mesh hanging caddy, but again, you do have the shelf right here outside, versus last year it was like over here above the toilet to where your toiletry items could fall in the toilet. Yeah, this is great. Much better this year than last year. I don't know if it's just a setup to where the mixed dorms have a different layout, and they don't have it in here. Let me stick my head out again. I want to see. Okay, I'm going to show you the map. So it says you are here. This in white is the layout of the room. You have bedroom 1, bedroom 2, you have the bathroom and the kitchen and everything, or the bathroom and the kitchen. Looks like this 502 is pretty much the same layout. Each one has, you know, different layouts. These are really long and skinny, you know, right through here, where this one's kind of fat. So it could be that these are layouts and all of these long skinny ones are a different layout. So if you get online and you're looking to book here, try to do your research and see which layout might work best for you. And then when you book your reservation, call the hostel. Call immediately afterwards and tell them, hey, I just booked my reservation. Can you please put me in like a layout that is like room number such and such? They can't always accommodate that, but you know, at least try. You can also call and reserve your bunk, or try to, should I say. I called and said, hey, I'm gonna turn the light on, it's starting to get dark in here. I called and I said, hey, I want to go ahead and reserve my bunk. The girl was about to say, well, we really kind of can't, because everybody wants a bottom bunk. Everybody does. So they can't always reserve the bottom ones. But if you think that you want a top bunk, they will go ahead and reserve those for you, because they're not as popular. So if you are somebody who wants the top bunk, then go ahead and call and try to reserve that. I'll do a walkthrough of the large common areas on like the second floor. And I may even go to the laundry floor, because there's a floor where all the laundry is, because I did not cover that in my last walkthrough. But yeah, so I will kind of look, and if there's anything that has changed, I will let you know. There are a few things to note. I am going to try and remember them all. The Union Station here in Chicago, right now, me getting here, is under a lot of construction. I guess they're just revamping it. And because of that, the train came into a different track than the Empire Builder that I took here last year. It was a much shorter walk to get to the actual inside of the station, and then a much shorter walk to get out of the station itself. However, it does put you out on a different corner. So just be mindful of that if you are coming to Chicago and you're taking the train, if it's under construction, and they'll announce it on the train, hey, the train station's under construction, we will be getting off the train at this corner, you can only take these directions. So for me, I felt like it was a shorter walk than what I took last year to get here to the hostel, because it did put me out on a corner that was closer to the hostel versus the diagonal other end of Union Station. What else? I know I'm going to think of other things that I was going to mention that were changes. But yeah, if I think of it, I'll let you know. For tonight, I don't know what I'm going to do. I sort of know what I want to do. If this video is swaying, I don't know if it's the video or me, because I am used to the train, the motion of the train, and walking here to the hostel felt fine. When I was at check-in, I found myself standing there just kind of swaying with the rocking motion of the train. And I still have that. I still feel that. It's kind of like being on a boat. I feel like I'm on a boat or something. And I kind of want to hang out here at the hostel for a little bit to let that feeling die down, because I don't want to be out on the street and get really dizzy and just crash. But what I had intended, there's my phone. What I had intended on doing tonight is going to Headquarters Beercade. They have bar food. So American bar food, burgers, pizza, wings, and they have free video games. Apparently some of the games you have to pay for. I think they have basketball there, but I do not play basketball. I am not athletic. But yeah, they have free video games. The address for Headquarters Beercade is 213 West Institute Place. They open at 4 p.m. Right now it is 3:53. You hear that rumbling? That is the L train. But to me, I don't know, maybe because I'm closer to it, it's just a constant. It doesn't seem as bad. It almost sounds like rain falling. Anyway. So yeah, Headquarters Beercade, they open at 4 o'clock. Right now it's almost 3:53. And I looked on the map. I can take the red line and be there in 15 minutes, or I can walk and be there in 45 minutes. I'm not hungry yet. I ate late on the train. Technically it was early, but it was kind of late. So I'm not that hungry, but at the same time, I kind of want to walk off the dizziness. So I may just walk it. 45-minute walk is not terrible. And I get to refamiliarize myself with Chicago, which is great. So yeah, I'll probably head over to Headquarters Beercade, get some dinner, and then come back after playing some games and call it a night after that. But I will try to film as much as I can. I'll ask when I get there if I can film inside, and if they give a blessing, I will show you guys what Headquarters Beercade is all about. So let's go explore Chicago. I found out what the source of my dizziness was. Whenever you're riding the train, if you notice in the video that I took in part 1 of day 3, I had my back facing the direction that the train was going. So what I was looking at while I look out the window was everything that we were passing, but from the, I guess, ladder view of it's already passed. If you are sitting on the train in the same position that I was, that will actually cause you to become quite dizzy. So if you are riding the train, you want to sit to where you are facing the direction the train is going. That way you're seeing stuff before it passes, not after it has already passed. This will keep you from getting dizzy. I was quite dizzy while I was walking over to Headquarters Beercade. So once I got to Headquarters, I decided not to film because I knew that I was still kind of shaky, and instead I ended up taking pictures. The pictures that I took don't show quite how many games there are in Headquarters Beercade. There are tons of video games to play, and most of them you don't really have to wait for someone to quit playing. You can bounce around from game to game and play them for quite a while without having to wait. They do have a section where you have to pay to play specific games, and that is the basketball, skee ball, and the darts area. One thing that I found was kind of cool that I wanted to share with you when I got here is they did have the football game going, and it was the Chicago Bears versus the Kansas City Chiefs, which I thought was kind of cool that that game was happening on the day that I arrived, since I was in Kansas City earlier and ended up in Chicago for the night. I ended up getting food while I was there. I wasn't still very hungry, but I decided to get some appetizers, and I got the chicken fajita quesadillas and the truffle fries. They were so good. Oh, they were so good. And I couldn't finish all of the food. I highly recommend coming to Headquarters Beercade in Chicago. The price for the food was inexpensive, especially since you can play the games for free while you're there. And they don't have a time limit on the games. You can stay for a while. I was there for probably about 2 hours, and the staff there is very friendly. I ended up heading back to the hostel after, and I wanted to share some pictures that I took along the way of the Chicago skyline. And when I got back to the hostel, I decided to finish filming some footage of the hostel itself to share with you. So let's check that out. Okay, so this is the laundry room for the actual hostel. You have a vending machine here where you can buy detergent. You have Tide, OxyClean, bounce dryer sheets, and then you also have locks that you can purchase for your locker. You have, what is that? Oh, I guess an adapter. It's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but there is an adapter right there, and then there is a USB memory stick. But yeah, that's kind of cool having all of those items. And then you have an ironing board. You do have an iron. And then right here you have 2 washers. They are out of service. You have a total of 8 dryers. That's out of service. I'm assuming just the top one. every single one of the washing machines is out of order. So whenever people say, well, just wash your clothes, carry only a couple of things and wash your clothes, you may not be able to. You may have to wash them in the sink. Now, they do have a note here, says that additional laundry facilities are available on the 6th and 7th floors. I'm not going to go up there because one of the elevators is out and it is taking eternity to get from floor to floor. So I don't know if these were working last time I was here. I didn't even come up here. Both elevators were working last time I was here, so could just be a fluke. But apparently there's extra laundry facilities. I'm not going to go up there and see those. I did find out that all of the floors do have individual private showers down the hallways on the floors. So if someone is using the shower in the common room for your room, there are some in the hallway. You just have to lug your stuff down the hallway. But the good thing is you can take as long as you want because no one that is in the same room with you or the adjoining room is waiting on you, so you can take your time, which is what I might do. So yeah, that's the laundry facility is out of order, but apparently there is more. So yeah, that's the only thing that has changed. I did go to the second floor, did a walkthrough. Nothing has changed there. Still the same amenities. So yeah, not bad. I'm not washing my clothes. So I wanted to show you guys what the single individual bathroom looks like for the shower. You have hooks over here, paper towels. You do have the shower. Again, no place to store your stuff unless you hang it. You do have the shelf with the towel hooks right there next to the shower. And then you have the sink with a mirror. The next door on the other side of this wall is just a toilet and a sink. It is not the whole shower, but if you needed to use the toilet, there's a toilet and sink by themselves next door.